Hi, Kat. Welcome.
Oh, hi there.
So thank you very much for spending some time with me today. This will just take a few minutes, but I'm hoping to kind of dig into your experience in the Copywriting Master Class. But first, can you share with everyone who you are, what you do, and who you do it for?
Absolutely. So, hi everyone. I'm Kat. I am based in Detroit, Michigan as of yesterday. I just moved
Nice.
from Hawaii, so it's quite a change from.
Interesting choices there.
Yeah, my boyfriend's a pilot, so we go all over the place. So
Nice.
I don't always get to pick where we go, but I have a lot of family here, so I'm excited to be here. Yeah, and then so I am a blog post writer for e-commerce and SaaS companies. So I primarily do that. That's the main source of my income. And then I also offer editing to mostly those types of clients, but also kind of anybody that's like, hey, I just really need someone to look this over or whatever. I'll do like, anything from more structural editing to just like a quick proofread. So yeah, that about sums it up at the moment.
Awesome. I love that SaaS and e-commerce is your jam. Nice and
Love it.
specific. So what was happening? What was happening in your life when you started looking for a copywriting course?
Yeah, so I kind of hit a point with my business where I wanted to introduce more types of services, but I didn't want to, excuse my French, half-ass it. So I was like, I need to find a course and actually learn how to write other types of copy, instead of kind of, like, I'm sure I could have figured it out eventually, but I know that it would have taken a lot longer to do that and
Yes.
kind of bypass some of the trial and error. And I don't know, I enjoy, investing in courses and furthering my education in that way. So I was like, all right, let's do it. Yeah,
Me
you
too.
get it. You get it. So yeah, and then I just was like, all right, Belinda's awesome. Let's do it.
Great way to start that one, by the way. So you'd been copywriting, your business was going, you'd been in it for a little while, and you were like, so you were looking to diversify on what
Yes.
you want to do. Cool.
Yeah, I really do like writing blog posts, but I wanted to introduce websites, potentially
Yes.
emails, all these other things. And I was like, I need a course not on freelancing, because I've been doing this for 2 years, and not that I by any means have all the secrets or know everything, but I
Yeah.
wanted something more tactical with writing.
Yes.
So that's why this course was so appealing to me, because you actually learn lessons about how to improve your writing and how to write headlines better and how to do all these different things that are so important to the process.
Awesome. And so what was important to you as you were looking around for a course? Was it a slow search where you're like, oh, I'm just going to look until I find the right one? Or is it like, oh, I'm going to do this now?
It was kind of a mix of both. So I had it kind of been in the back of my head, like, I need to figure this out. I need to get this going, because if I don't, I'm just going to keep coasting and never actually do it. And then I think I was trying to remember how I found, like, I recognized your name probably just from being in different writer groups on Facebook.
Yeah.
And then I started to obviously creep, and I was like, oh, she does courses. Awesome. Let me look into this a little bit more. But yeah, and so what really made me decide to do this course was I need that level of accountability. I can't really, classes that, kind of just have those drip video sequences are totally great. Definitely recommend those. But for me personally, I need that level of like, okay, we're doing this week, and there's a worksheet, and then we're going to actually talk about it on a video, and we're all going to have to discuss, and you have to show up, and there's just that level of accountability. So that was kind of really one of the big factors that made me decide to do it.
Nice.
Yeah, just that accountability was, I need that. So I knew that I'd really do
it. What I love is it's not like it was accountability from me. Like, the space is provided.
Yeah.
And you held yourself accountable through to the end, which is awesome. Yeah. And it was a new structure for me to have that kind of, this week we're specifically talking about this, and get your worksheets in if you want me to review them. And I think
I loved it. Well. And I love that there was that level of accountability, but then also like, we get it, life happens, client work happens, whatever. If you don't turn the worksheet in on the date and you miss the call, it's fine. Just do it when you can and catch up. Like, there was that it was like the perfect amount of pressure.
Nice. Oh, that's good. That
Yeah.
makes me feel really good. The perfect amount of pressure.
It was, yeah.
We're going to put that as a quote on the sales page.
There you go. Done.
So as you were looking around, what almost stopped you from signing up to the masterclass? Did you have, because I think when we all make an investment like this, I sign up to big courses as well. There's always those things where you're like, I don't know. What was it for you?
I mean, honestly, I feel like when I go to make any sort of investment, I'm always like, are you sure? Like, totally, like,
Yes.
Are you really, really, really sure? Like, don't freak out when you look at your credit card statement and you're like, all right, like, it's going to be fine. So that's always kind of, for me, just like all right, let's just really make sure that we're gung-ho and on board with this.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, I honestly, I'm going to sound weird, but all of the objections that I had really kind of were soothed just because of that accountability, like the weekly calls and all that stuff. So aside from just being like, all right, just do it. And, it's gonna, I knew that I was going to make my money back within, very, very soon. So it really was just that initial, like, all right, let's just jump in, but it's not, again, that's probably just like a me thing. I don't think it was your course or anything. That's how I kind of am.
Well,
like,
I love that you had that little conversation with yourself, and it's something that you've mentioned before, because I do the same thing where I'm like, well, you've just read the sales page and it's meant to be persuasive. Don't get too excited. Now you have to wait a day to see if you really want it.
That's what I did. Actually, I did that. I had like the tab open in my computer or on my browser for so long, and I kept being like, okay, if you keep thinking about it and you're still really excited about it, then that's probably a good sign that you should just go ahead and do it. And I kept being like, I just want to get to it. I want to make sure that I, sign up in time. So worked
awesome.
for me.
Because it stops us being course collectors. Where we sign up for things and we do one lesson or something and then we never finish it. So
I did that with a, master class, like the brand. I did, oh my God, Margaret Atwood. I signed up for hers and I think I got like halfway through and then I like completely forgot that I even have it. So now I'm like, oh, I should probably go back and finish that because I paid however much. But so the accountability is important, because that would have been me. I would have just been like, oh, I'll buy this course and it'll solve all my problems and I won't have to do anything. But that's not how it works.
That's not how it works. So how did you, because before we have the weekly coaching calls, and there's a, if you want your work reviewed on the call, or at least have it up for that chance, then you have to submit it. How did you make sure you got the work done each week?
So I just carved out, like I would with any client work or any other weekly task of mine. I was like, okay, this is my masterclass time. And I made sure that, I pretty much just treated it like client work. I just had no distractions. The TV wasn't going. I didn't have my favorite murder in the background, like whatever. I just was like, I'm going to dial in and actually make sure I'm, because I didn't want to have to like, kind of glance over it a bunch of times. I mean, obviously go back to review it, but I didn't want it to just go in one ear and out the other.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. And we talk about, because you're in my Confident Copywriting group, we talk about calendar blocking and removing distractions. And if you want to get stuff done, that is how you do it.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Was there anything that kind of surprised you about the course?
Honestly, I mean, I knew it was going to be full of value just from the lessons and the weekly calls and whatnot, but all the additional resources, like all those goodies that we got up front, like, I mean, the headline, I think there was like the copy, oh my God, the word count document, that was really great. Like all of these different things, like all those extra bonuses that I can just kind of flip back to when I am working with a client or working on a client project. All those things are awesome. And I'll have those for my whole career. So.
Forever. And just for everyone watching, there's a headline swipe file, a power word swipe file, a brand personality worksheet, a word count cheat sheet, a checklist. And I think there's even more. So there's a lot in there.
Ton.
And just for, mentioning the forever, I just want to quickly mention, I put all the lessons and the worksheets and the swipe files into one mega PDF that
best.
people are printing out and getting bound, and it's the copywriting Bible. So
yeah, I need to do that. I was like, when I move, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to FedEx, get it printed out, because I really want to print it, because I want to be able to mark it up and just flip to it whenever I need.
Oh yeah, that's exactly right. Like having it as something on the shelf makes it super useful.
Yeah.
Cool. So what would you say was your favorite part? Because you mentioned the calls and the accountability. Was there something that you were just like, if this was my favorite part of the course, if I hadn't had that in, it wouldn't have been as awesome?
That is so hard, because I really did love the calls, and I love that everybody's kind of with different backgrounds, like whether their reasonings for signing up are different, or they're kind of pursue it, like everybody had a different reason for signing up, and just kind of learning about them, and getting those different perspectives, and just learning from other people. Like I loved being able to go back to the forum and see, like, okay, Irina, this is her take on this assignment. Oh, that's a great idea. Like I didn't even think about that, but I'm gonna file that away for a client project or whatever. So it was the lessons from you, but then also from my classmates too. It was just learning from every which way,
every angle. And it's one thing I love as well, because sometimes I leave the kind of brief for the worksheet just a little bit open,
and I like that. That. Yeah.
Because, I mean, obviously we want to nail down a brief from a client, but especially for the brainstorming exercises, you need to have this really open mind. And I love seeing the different ways people approach some of those exercises. And even now I'll get one where I'm like, I never even thought of that.
Oh yeah. Or just, I mean, even anything from just like the slightest word change, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's brilliant. I would have never thought of that.
Nicely done.
But that was really valuable.
Awesome. And and having the forum, you mentioned the forum, you can actually search it for all the submissions since 2013. So there's a lot.
I mean, and then you could go, you don't even have to stay in your class. You could go way back and see what everybody's going on. So it's like you have this library of knowledge, I guess. That sounds
which is funny, because I've never promoted that as a thing before. And I was
there you go.
That's really valuable.
It is. It's just like everybody's, and then it's like everybody's attempts and then your feedback on all of their stuff too. So it's just like we're kind of looking at it every which way, which is amazing and very
awesome. Yay. So who would you recommend this course specifically for?
So I would recommend this definitely if you're kind of like me, where you're at a pivot in your business and you want to add more services, or even if you just want to sharpen your skills. But then also, I mean, if you're just kind of getting started with copywriting and you have really no clue what it's about, or how to get started, like there's some really great foundational lessons in there too. So I mean, I feel like it can be applied in many different scenarios. It just depends on kind of how you frame it, but it's not so general where like if you didn't know anything about writing, you might be like, all right, this is for me. But it's great if you're new to copywriting, or if you're looking to add more services, or you're sharpening, like it's kind of that range. So
nice. I love it. That's pretty much how I wrote it. So
good. You nailed it.
Cool. Well, thank you for sharing your experience. It's always lovely to chat. We chat quite a lot, so that's good. But before we go, tell everyone who you are, where they can find you, and things like that.
Yeah, so I am at the moment, I'm currently adjusting some things, but I primarily write e-commerce or blog posts for e-commerce and SaaS companies. And I also offer some editing. And you can find me over on katambrose.com, or you can follow me on Twitter at, I think my handle is kat_Ambrose. So, yeah.
Awesome. I will drop those links in the comments so people can chase you up. If you're looking for a SaaS or e-commerce copywriter, talk to Kat.
We can talk.
My friend, I will see you soon.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you.